Ladies and gentlemen, it was a tragedy several months back in January, an absolute tragedy. I condemn what took place. I think that those 4 people should be alive. That woman should be alive. And it was, a horrendous catastrophe. That being said, the Department of Justice, the mayor of D.C., and the attorney general of D.C. did not level charges. Why is this? Why is this? Why didn't they charge? So Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., did not level charges at President Trump. Why not? The Attorney General, Carl Racine, he didn't level charges at President Trump or indict Trump. Why? If you want a commission after the federal, after every court with that has jurisdiction, so the mayor of D.C., the Attorney General of D.C., the federal government. So D.C. courts, federal courts, there's not a judge in this entire country, not the Supreme Court. Nobody has leveled any charges. Prosecutors, federal prosecutors, D.C. prosecutors have never leveled any charges. We don't even have to get to New York prosecutors. Is this not an accurate assessment? Hit subscribe to this channel right now. If I'm wrong and President Trump and Democrats believe in some liberal message board and President Trump is being tried right now for fomenting, a horrible attempt at doing something horrendous, then let me know. But they call President Trump, they've called him every name in the book. They've accused him of everything under the sun. They said that he had this financial labyrinth that only looking at his tax returns could reveal. They have his returns now. It led to nothing. They then got his CEO because they have utter contempt and despise Trump. It's not about the rule of law. And what's taking place right now is not about, charging or leveling indictments at Trump because he directed people to commit, illegal acts. He told people, he compelled people. They say that his words, we cannot talk about November on any platform in a meaningful way because Democrats have said any discussion will eventually lead to mindless Trump zombies committing horrible, violent acts because they just can't differentiate between truth and lies. And Trump's words get people into this kind of, hypnotic state where they just, commit these horrendous atrocities and they can't control themselves. So any words or discussion, well, we can't have that. So it's like they don't utilize the same logic when it comes to their political side. Where is the commission for the $1 to $2 billion in property damage throughout the country that Democrats kept saying were largely peaceful? Well, by that standard, it was largely peaceful too. Hit subscribe to this channel, and 25 lives lost as well, according to Wikipedia. Hit subscribe to this channel. I should have a live stream. I was thinking of taking a day off today with the live stream, but I might have a live stream. I probably will around 9 p.m. or so this evening. So be here 9 p.m. or so. But, you have the Attorney General of D.C., the Mayor of D.C., the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland. Why haven't they This is a very simple question for Democrats or for, because, the press is like Esquire, Donald Trump must testify. Well, he's not under trial, or they haven't leveled charges at him. Why should he testify? I don't understand what this logic is. Raw story, Trump must be less than pleased to see he has no defenders on. Yeah, that's an example of the whole thing being a public relations stunt. He has no defenders. That's the problem. That's been the problem with media and government since 2016. That'll change in 2022 when you have primaried. Like, the left, certain progressives think that, oh, well, you know what? We're going to primary out all the centrists. The 99% of the Democratic Party is centrist. You only have, even Pelosi said that you could fit all the progressives in a phone booth, something like that. Okay? And so, 10 or so progressive candidates, and even they don't want a floor vote on Medicare for all. The whole thing's a racket. The Democratic Party, I was a Democrat my whole life, okay, up until recently, or 3 years ago. I can tell you that the Democratic Party is a racket, or liberal politics or philosophy. Some things are good. Some things make sense. Okay, it's not all bad, but it's like when push comes to shove, they don't really abide by their alleged value system, and they use outrage and emotion. It's all about emotion. Okay, they use emotion to substitute for actual policies. Medicare for all, that's not going to happen. Packing the courts, that's not going to happen. Green New Deal legislation, of course that's not going to happen. The economy's in the tank. You think they're going to ruin the economy even more? So they talk about climate change. Okay, it's an important topic. Do you have any idea how to save the planet? It's not from a resolution, which is another public relations stunt. So we can go on forever. When it comes down to actually abiding by your alleged value system, they never do. Believe with Kavanaugh and Trump. Don't believe with Biden. Okay? And go after Trump's kids. But you know what? Hunter, you can't even talk. We couldn't talk about Hunter in November. We couldn't talk about the origins of you-know-what. We can't talk about, a lot of things now, primarily because Democrats have made this absurd leap of logic. Then they say misinformation is causing people to lose their lives. No, it's not. Every person on this planet has a responsibility to decipher what is true or false. It is not the government or the Democratic parties or, the morally superior liberal in a fishing shop in Montana. Okay? It's like, go look at the New York Times statistics. Democrats have had the absolute worst outcomes, the highest per capita rates, the worst outcomes. Okay? The red states that didn't engage in the same type of draconian policies did a lot better. Go look at throughout all the different metrics throughout the country. Okay? Highest unemployment rates. Blue states. Highest per capita rates. Blue states. Top 4 highest. Highest crime rates, blue states. All right, so we should be lectured. The whole country should be lectured. And you have a situation where, you have half the country, you have 74 million Americans who don't trust media at all, don't trust the Democratic Party, and you have an entire public relations machine called American media with maybe you have Fox News on Trump's side, maybe I'm probably really you don't. You what publication? You have a handful of publications that back President Trump, a handful of publications. That's it. And then you have, it's like you have this hysteria, this apoplectic, this manic coverage of Trump, 92% negative media coverage. Everything they level at him, they can't back up in a court of law, from Trump Russia to this commission. Stop accusing Trump if you can't indict him. You're just making things up. You're just making things up. You can indict Democrats. They choose not to. Comey says there's no intent. But with Trump, they literally have nothing. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Be here later on.